This is what your pit items look like. Boring, right? Well, I can fix that. Because with these 5 texture packs, you'll be able to spice up your pit's experience. Now there are definitely more than 5 packs out there. These are the top 5 in my opinion, but I would be glad to hear what you would have changed in this top 5 list in the comments down below. So I will be quickly giving all these items a tier from S to D for every pack. And I'm 100% sure you do not know at least one of these packs. Starting off with the lowest placement of the top 5, but it still made it into the top 5, we have the Bomb Life Pit Pack. Alright, so I'm going to be quickly starting off with the Executioner, and I think this is pretty decent. It doesn't really have anything special, but you know, it's nice to have. I guess it would be better than without any textures, so I'm just gonna give it a B tier. As for the Prune's Wrath, I think the same over here, and I'm kind of confused because the Billionaire and the Prune's Wrath, I feel like the texture should be swapped, in my opinion. But going over to the Billionaire, I think this one gets an A tier because it looks pretty sick. Yeah, I could definitely see myself using this. For the Gambo, again, it's pretty basic, and yeah, I guess I give it a B tier. Hopping over to the Mega Longbow, I'm sorry, but up until now, this is probably one of the worst Mega Longbows I've seen. Yeah, this is gonna get a C tier for me. Now, there's no Regularity, Sweaty, or Venom textures, which, I mean, I think is a loss, but there aren't really many textures in this pack at all. But I do definitely think this pack has a lot of potential if it were to get new textures. Over to the Lifesteal, in my opinion, this is one of the coolest swords. It's the sword I'm using right now in my hand, and you can see like some sort of like blood vein going through, and you can see like the blood streaming through. The design is really cool, and this is personally my favorite Lifesteal sword of all the packs. Yeah, definitely getting an S tier for me, because it's just really dope, and I like the concept, and it just looks good overall. Now let's over to the Volley. Really basic, but I guess it's better than nothing, so again, a B tier. To be honest, I had a lot more items to show, but this pack does not have textures for them, so I guess that's a non-tier. Next, for number 4, we have the Eye-Silas pack. Now looking at the Executioner, it's basically the same opinion as the last one. It's pretty basic, but it's better than nothing, so again, a B tier. Now for Parun, this one is quite cool. I could definitely see some people really like this one, but on Parun, I'm a little bit more strict just because it's really easy to make a Parun texture look really cool, in my opinion. Like, you can do a lot of cool stuff with it. And so I'll give this a B tier again. Hopping over to the Billionaire, I kind of like the coins going out of it, because every hit, you know, you use coins to deal extra damage, so I like the concept, but I've seen so much good stuff with the Billionaire, so again, a B tier. The Gamble sword I actually really like, so I'm gonna give that an A tier. The animation is really cool, and it's a really unique idea, and yeah, definitely haven't seen something like this before in the other packs with Gamble. Now for the Mega Longbow, it's better than last pack, but I've seen a lot of really cool textures with Mega Longbow, and this one I can't give higher than a B tier again. And if you want to know, this is how you shoot it. Pretty basic animation for the shooting. Regularity, really basic. Quite some packs use this texture for the regularity pants, and it's basically just a B tier also because of that. Now Sweaty, there's nothing, which, you know, quite a waste, but there's definitely more textures in this texture pack than the last one, so that's at least a good thing. Now the Venoms, really basic, and I don't really like this, so I'm gonna give it a C tier. If you like the minimalistic thing like this, then this is definitely something for you, but for me, this is not really, you know, I've seen much better stuff with the Venoms. Now hopping over to the Lifesteal sword, it's nice, I guess. I'm gonna give it a B tier. I like the green particles, but I don't like the sword texture itself. Same goes for Volley. It's kind of the same as for the last one, except this time the arrows are a little bit smaller. Which, I mean, it does look cooler than the last one, but I'm still going to give it a B tier, as A tier would just be too high. Now the first aid egg, something, which is already really good. A lot of texture packs do not have anything for the first aid egg. This one does, and it's like, well, this bandage, and it's red. So I guess it's cool. Now for the King's Helmet, as you can see here, they have a texture. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna give it a B tier. I've only seen one that's a little bit better, but overall, I think all the texture packs could be doing some work on the G-Helm and stuff like that. I like normal arrows more than this. I don't really like how this looks per se, so I'm gonna give it a C tier, but this is really personal preference in my opinion. For the Archangel chestplate, I was thinking about giving a C or B tier, but since not a lot of packs do anything anyways, I was gonna give it a B tier. And if you like this, then that's really good for you, but in my opinion, it doesn't really look all that good. Armageddon boots, well, none, so can't really say much more about that. Then hopping over to the Feds, I like this one, an A tier for this one. The Feds, or Funky Feathers, are really nice. Yeah, I definitely recommend if you want nice Feds that this is also definitely a liable option. Now coming down to a more known pack, we have at number 3, the Eve pack from the YouTuber Pink Eve. So yeah, quite some of you probably already know this pack. Yeah, I think this deserved a number 3 spot, which is pretty good actually. And let's start off strong with the Executioner Sword. As you can see, it has some cool animations. I'm gonna tell you, it has like a lot of animations. Look at that one, for example, looks really cool. It has like 6 different type animations. So if you have Executioner and you just want a cool Executioner Sword, this is definitely something I would recommend. This is definitely an S tier, my favorite Executioner Sword in the game, and it has, as you can see, just some sick animations. And I think my favorite one is still gonna come in just a second. Look at that. That's sick. Yeah, I think definitely that deserves an S tier and is probably already a reason why you would maybe want to use this pack. Coming down to the Prune's Wrath, pretty basic. I expected more from, if you look at the other things, I expected more from the Prune's Wrath as it is a pretty famous sword. So yeah, B tier. Coming down to Billionaire, I really like the design, it's clean. And yeah, giving it an A tier is, I think, appropriate for this sword. Now for the Gambo, I don't know why, but I really like this. It's nothing really special, but I think it's just really clean and nice. And you can just see the details on this texture pack are pretty good. You know how the color fades, stuff like that. It's just a really nice, neat looking sword. Coming up to the Mega Longbow, and the reason why I basically gave this an A tier is not because of how it looks right now, but how it looks when you shoot. You can see the arrow. Yeah, it looks really cool. The arrow I really like when you shoot with the Mega Longbow, and it just matches the rest really well, and that's really why I think this texture deserves an A tier. For regularity and sweaty, there's no textures, which really surprised me, as there's a lot of textures in this texture pack. Like, why not do this one as well? I don't know, maybe it's gonna come later, but that is unfortunate. But coming down to the Venoms, I think a lot of people may like this and a lot of people really don't. I think those are like snake eyes. That's what I, guessed when I saw this. Pretty nice idea, but don't really like how it looks. I think this deserves a C tier. It's not a D tier. It's not the worst, but it's just not good. Then the same goes for the Lifesteal Sword. I get the idea of like the blood looking like it's going upwards into the sword, like you're stealing the blood from your enemies. I like that idea, but if they had just made it a bit different, like why does it look like hammer shaped, could have been done better. So again, a C tier. Hopping over to the Volley, I actually really like this one. I like how the colors change as you charge it, and just overall pretty good looking texture, giving it an A tier. Now let's hop over to the first A deck. Now this one, I really don't have an opinion on it. It's just different. If I would have the default texture or this texture, it wouldn't really matter to me, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. It's just alright, it's there at least. Heading over to the Feds, not a big fan. I don't know, almost every single other Fed texture has been better up until now, so I'm gonna give this a D tier. Yeah, I don't really like this at all. Would have rather had just the normal Fed, definitely. Same for the arrows. I don't know why he chose to make the arrows look like this. They just look horrible. I'm sorry, Eve. I like your content and you've got really cool stuff like the Executioner Sword, but there's just some things that in my opinion are quite lacking like this. And the Archangel definitely does get a C tier because it's an Archangel chestplate, so a skull is not really fitting and it just doesn't really look that good in my opinion. But I guess the Golden Helm is alright, so I guess I'm gonna give that a B tier. Coming down to Armageddon boots though, an A tier. Yeah, these look really nice. I really like this design. The fire coming off of it. It's the best Armageddon boots I've seen so far. Good job on that at least, to round this pack off. Alright, the next pack we have at number 2, probably one of the most known packs out there, the X-Fan V4 pack from Excelsu. I don't know if I said that name right, but that's how I guess I have to pronounce it. Starting off with the Executioner. Now this is pretty clean and not so much difference. But the glint it has, the animation glint, and just the overall texture I really like, and I'm giving this an A tier. Same goes for the Prune Sword, actually really clean, subtle change, but you definitely understand what this sword is immediately. So again, another A tier. And for the Billionaire, well, it's kind of similar to the one of Pink Eves. I do not actually know which one was first, but still, it's a little bit different, but still really nice. So again, an A tier. Hopping over to the Gambo, I really like the concept of it changing from red to green. I don't know about the fact that it changes the whole sword from red to green, but I still like the concept. Definitely a S tier. I really like this one. Coming down to the MLB, an A tier. But this one actually looks really good, but I have a better one, and you're gonna see that one in the next pack. So that's why I'm giving it an A tier, because I want the S tier to be for the absolute best of the best for those textures. Pretty funny how the first texture pack had an S tier already. Hopping over to the regularities, I mean, they're the ones that are being used in a lot of packs, so just again, a B tier. Now for the sweaties, man, this pack fell off with these sweaties. I don't know what they thought when they made this, but this is a D tier for me. Really don't like it. It's really weird, and it seems like they didn't really think this through. Anyways, let's head over to the Venoms. Yeah, they're really simple. They're just the really basic Venoms. I guess a C tier. Those are the two textures that I don't really like in this pack and could have been way better. Now let's hop on over to the Lifesteal. It's a B tier. It's solid, it's clean. Same for the Volley. Now the First Aid Egg doesn't have a texture, which isn't surprising because that's most packs with the First Aid Eggs. Hopping over to the Feds. Again, this texture, an A tier. I really like it. It's the same texture as you saw in 2 packs before this one with the Silas pack, but I don't know which one was first. I guess it's good that it's in both of them because it's a good texture anyways. Then they have nothing to show for the arrows, same for the golden helmet and the arch chestplate, but then the Armageddon boots, they get an A tier for me. I really would have liked it if they had the fire animation going on while they were wearing it as well. That would be really nice, and then it would definitely deserve a full A tier. Anyways, I've made you guys wait long enough, so let's head over to the final pack. This is the #1 pack, that is Plippy's Rome pack. And the reason why I say Rome pack is because he's making multiple packs. There's 3 out already, and this is the Rome one, which I like the most, so that's why I'm showcasing it to you guys. But he's still updating them, they're all in first version, and he's still changing a lot of things, trying to make it as good as possible. He's working on an overlay pack right now, and yeah, he's trying to make the best pack possible, which I really dig because the textures are actually really cool. Starting off with the Executioner sword, I give this an A tier. It's really clean. I would not immediately tell that it's an Executioner sword. Hopping over to the Perun sword, it's a B tier, but he's changing this texture. I told him that this sword is just, you know, in compared to the rest, kind of lacking in how it looks, and he also said he would be changing it. And he also has other texture packs where I actually like the Perun sword more, but all the textures combined, I still like the Rome one the best right now. Same goes for the Billionaire actually. He has a better texture on a different pack. Maybe you really like this. I could definitely see some people really like this animation. Hopping over to the Gamble sword, I'm giving this an S tier actually. Yeah, it's really cool. I like how he made it. It's kind of the same with the green and red changing one you saw over at the Excelsior pack, but this one I like a little bit more because it doesn't have it like go all the way through, which looked kind of weird in my opinion. And he has other packs as well where it's green and red instead of blue and red, which is also like an S tier for me. And then the Mega Longbow, maybe one of the coolest things in this pack, which I was talking about, like there is a Mega Longbow that tops it off, and that's this one. And this is also an S tier for me. I like how the whole bow changes color. As a matter of fact, if you have like nice side enchants, like for example Faster Than the Shadows, this changes like to different, like a light blue, which looks really nice as well. Like he has a lot of cool features in the pack that if you combine enchants, you get a really cool combination texture, which for the bows look really sick, and some of the swords as well look really cool with the combination texture. Heading over to regularity, well, yeah, pretty basic. It's what all the texture packs basically use, so this is a B tier for me. These sweaty pants, I was thinking about this one. I might have given the sweaty one like an A tier, just because there isn't really any good sweaty textures out there. But I still gave it a B tier because it just could have been better in my opinion. But I would definitely appreciate it if there was a pack to come out with a better sweaty texture. And it's probably going to be some of Plippy's packs because he keeps on working on them. Now over to the Venoms, and these look really sick. One of my favorite textures in this whole entire texture pack top 5 list. is this one. The Venoms, absolute S tier, look really cool. I think we all agree with this one. And he has, for all the dark pants, he has cool animations like this. Heading over to the Lifesteal Sword, my second favorite Lifesteal Sword, because you know my favorite one was from the first pack I showed you guys, but this one is also really cool. Now, one of the main reasons why this Lifesteal is so nice is because it really goes well together with other sword textures. For example, imagine this Billionaire Sword with Lifesteal on it. So this would mean that you'd see the Billionaire animation, and you'd see the lifesteal little pluses going around it as well. This is like for a lot of swords he has this, for example with this one as well. That would just look really well together, and I unfortunately can't showcase that right now because I had some technical difficulties with that, but you can get that in the game with this texture pack. Hopping over to the volley one, yeah, I just really like all the bows in this pack basically. I'd probably give all of them an S tier to be honest, and so same goes for the volley one. No changes in the first 8 egg, but like I said, all the packs are basically in their very early versions right now, so they will likely be updated sometime soon. Now for the golden helmet, he made really subtle changes to it, but I really liked it. Yeah, it's pretty nice, and I like it more than most of them because some of them are either they don't have them or they're too much. The subtle little change I really like. So I'm giving that an A tier because of that. Now the Archangel chestplate is just regular diamond chestplate. Although I spoke to him and told him like, you know, could you please like, you know, try and change this? And he said he would work on it. So he might be changing the Archangel chestplate as well. And I told him to make an as subtle change possible, to not make it like extreme. That would just look a bit off, in my opinion. Now, we can't forget the funky feathers in this pack, because they are my favorite funky feathers up until now. Really cool texture, and definitely an S tier. Now, for the arrows, I like them equally to the normal arrows you just have in vanilla Minecraft, so I'm gonna give it a B tier. Now, for the Armageddon boots, yeah, not really a lot of change here. I guess I'll give it a B tier for that. But all around, that definitely does give this texture pack a winning spot for me personally. A lot in S tiers. He's making overlays, so if you want your own texture pack in the background and just have the items changed from the pit, then he's working on making something to be able to do that as well. Now there is a lot of texture packs who already have this, and this one is going to get it soon too. Now, of course, you have to be able to get these packs, and I won't just let you try and search for yourself. I'll have all the links in the comments down below, and for this texture pack, there is a Patreon, because, you know, it takes quite some time to make this pack. So if you are a hardcore Pit player and you play Pit a lot, you want some nice textures with different variations, overlays, and frequent updates, then I definitely recommend checking out Plippy's Patreon, because I definitely think it is worth it. It is, at least for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Later!